really strong evidence that it wasn't made up. Because in those days and times, a woman's testimony was not valid in court. And so, if they wanted to prove something, if they wanted to show it, Peter would have been the first one. So, the question then, and you've probably heard me use this before, you know, it's Jesus Christ. He is a historical person. He was either a liar, in that he claimed to be God and knew that he wasn't, or he was a lunatic. He claimed to be God, but he was deluded. Or in fact, he was God. Right? Those are the only three possibilities. So either he claimed it and knew he wasn't, or thought that he was. So certainly, if he claimed that he was God and knew that he wasn't, then you can't call him a good teacher, right? But everybody attests, even non-believers, they say, oh yeah, Jesus, he was a good moral teacher. Like, well, you can't be a good moral teacher if you're lying to people. Right? That's pretty much the foundation. But not only that, but he demonstrated and proved that he was God. Ultimately, through the resurrection. I mean, through the sinless life, through the miracles, but ultimately, he rose from the dead. So how did that happen? So if the tomb is empty, then either somebody stole his body out of the tomb, right? The tomb is empty. So if he was put into the tomb, what are the possibilities? Either one, somebody stole it, right? Or two, and so who could have stolen it? Well, maybe the disciples stole it. So, if the disciples stole the body, there's a lot of problems with that. Namely, that there were what posted by the tomb?
Guards.
Guards.
Roman soldiers.
Roman soldiers. Their charge was, they are when they're put in charge to guard something, it's their life for the other life. So if Jesus would have gotten out, they would have died for that. They're not just like guarding, it's like, oh, sure, disciples, come on, take them out, you know, pay me some money. No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't give in to bribes, because they would know that if this person that they were set to guard, something happens to this body, they would die. That's part of their duty. Second of all, they're trained warriors with swords. Disciples were fishermen, tax collector, you know, not exactly people who are going to overcome guards with swords. So, but let's just say somehow they did. Because the Bible says that is what they were paid, right? So the guards afterwards were paid and said, okay, tell people that the disciples came to steal the body. And it says that rumor was widely spread among the Jews.
Why didn't they kill the guards?
Well, they didn't because they wanted to spread the rumor. For them, there needed to be eyewitnesses still alive who said they stole the body.
But if their story was the disciples stole the body, yes, then the guards would have had to die for that.
They should have, right? Yes.
So I guess if they wanted to make it more convincing,
yes,
killed
sure,
the guards.
But in this, now in later cases, the guards did die. With we see that happening with Peter, actually. The guards who were guarding him got killed.
Okay.
But for whatever reason, they didn't kill these guards. And so, but think about it. That means the disciples stole the body of Jesus. So that means that Peter, John, James, all of the other disciples knew what?
That it was a lie. That
yeah, that Jesus Christ didn't rise from the dead. Then they also knew that he wasn't God, and all of their hopes were dashed. But then they were all put to death. Except for John. They were put to death because they believed in the resurrection of Jesus Christ.
Did they go to heaven?
Yes, they did.